Wonderful. There he is. Well, folks, it's 3:30 on time, so we might as well jump in. Trying to put this special interest group together. One, because we've been so apart for so long, and people have been missing in folks. And two, we just wanted to get to know other folks that were using Web 2. We went through a very hard decision internally here, whether to stay with Xojo and go with Web 2 or move off technologies, and we made the decision to move on to Web 2. And it's been as everybody knows, a bit bumpy, trying to get forward there, but we've come up with a lot of things.
Så det som var veldig positivt var jo at folk opplevde at jeg var en
I think we got that one. Got it. I muted Larry. That was you. So we just wanted to share some things that we were doing and maybe make this a monthly thing when people are doing fun, creative things. We wanted to see what you're doing and see how we could do it. You know, I'll put an email out at the end of this or a thing on the form at the end of this to everyone. I'm recording it. We'll put the source code where we can have it put out, and we will you know, just make everything we can available, sort of a thing. So, you know, we're Underwriters Technologies. We're a little company. It's me and Alberto, and we have some other folks doing some other stuff to us. We do stuff for the insurance world, and it's damn boring, but our projects are gigantic and huge, and we're running into all sorts of stuff. So without further ado, one of the things we ran into very early on with Web 2 is we have pages that have 100 checkboxes on them or 100 fields on them. And then the client will come to us and ask us to stick another question in the middle there. And if you've ever tried to deal with the IDE, you pull your hair out, you know, this, all of a sudden the whole thing is 4 pixel rows off, and we've solved that problem. So without further ado, I'll jump it over to Alberto. He did most of the heavy lifting on this. I don't know where the idea came from around here, but we have stopped pixel pushing in the IDE, and we're really, really happy that we haven't. So I'll leave it up to him.
Okay. Thank you. So my brief presentation will be for Accordion. That's the tool that we use. So we don't need to put every single control on the IDE perfectly, because we put that on the page or on a container control, and then depending on the top property and if it's visible or not, we move controls around so they can be at the exact size between or space between the controls that the client wants. And it's easy to give some space and have the page with some space that then we can use for other things that the user needs. For example, we have a lot of clients that request to have a page with many questions. This is part 10 of the application that they need to fill. So they gave us this questions, so we put the questions all there and just a yes no answer. But then they say, well, for these questions we need to have some space. If they click yes, then we need to know why they click yes. So then we had to move things around. So, well, some things that we can do, well, give some space here. So, well, that's not practical, right? The other is have everything and need to move things here and then count on the IDE how many pixels are here, and then attach the web text area or whatever we need to do. So that's what's not practical either. So the option 3, well, we have the question, the just no, the text field, and the other question, and we have some space here that we can use later or not. But we don't need to have that beforehand, because we can have a page like like this one. And as you know, well, you see here are different things. And if we run this code, we will have a page like this. So here we have the page as we put on the IDE. But if we run the code, automatically will move all the controls on the page, and we have a property to set the space between the controls. So if the user or the client needs this to be closer or far away, we just need to change the property and everything will be changed. If we make a mistake and on the IDE and the top for this is not the same as this one, well, we will put like this is not going to be aligned. So everything on the same top will be aligned like this one. If we miss for a pixel like this one, well, the higher will be first and then the other control will be lower. And then we can add things and it will be move around. We can show other areas, or we will click, we just execute the accordion again, and it will be removed because we changed the visible property to false or true. And if it's true, we will show that, and the accordion will show the control. But if the visibility is set to false, then it is removed from view, and everything is aligned again. So this is something that we have and we use, and saves a lot of time moving things around, because some clients just ask every week to change things a little bit, and 1 pixel here, 1 pixel there, and this is far easier for us and faster.
The only other little tool we wanted to share with today is we have in addition to having those hundreds and hundreds of fields on a page, sometimes our lists get really, really long, like a list in a pop-up menu or a list for just any sort of a database list. So we've come up with an internal, we call them enumerations, which is a very bad name because it's not a true Xojo enumeration, but it's basically a list that goes forward. And so we built a little tool that we call an enumeration maker that just literally generates the Xojo class, and you just drop it in and out. And I'll give you a little piece of that. What we have, that's not what I want to share. Where's my share screen letting me? This one here. Okay, so in this particular thing, if I say I wanted to do, am I on the right? You guys got?
No, we can't see anything.
Excuse me?
You're not sharing your screen yet.
Oh, gotta hit the share button. Yeah, that helps, dumbass. There we go. Here we go. Okay, now it's this. So I thought, okay, if I want a pop-up menu of national parks or anything else, there's very often we just get an Excel sheet with a whole big old long list of things we need on it. But we went ahead and we said, let's say I want to make a pop-up with every national park that's in it. And here, so I just went out, looked at the web, grabbed my national parks, fired up a little tool here. This is actually written in API 2. It's a desktop application. So we'll just copy things over. I'll just say, hey, give me these, and I can either use, or I can drop a CSV list in too. I'll just take them and I'll drop them in here, and it's ugly over there, but I can append it over. Now, it's done a couple of things. One, it's taken all the capitalized things and lowercase them, gotten rid of the spaces. If it is something that starts with a number, because as you'll see, this is going to convert, there's going to be properties in Xojo. You can't start it with a number. So we tell you, okay, what do you want to prefend your numbers with to make them alphabetical? Little things like alpha sorting. And you know what? Gateway Arch to me it shouldn't be a national park. So I'm going to take it right off the list by double clicking it. I haven't implemented drag and drop on it, but it's fine. If I want to add others, I can do that. But I'll go ahead and I put the list name in. Let me put a lowercase. And it'll create the the Xojo code for me, the actual object. And if I open that up with a text editor, you can see it's literally just created the Xojo class with the methods and everything we wanted. It just saves typing. And if you have you know, non-US characters with accent grave and or you want to use Japanese in replacement for a character, something like that, works pretty well. Now, what I'll do next is I will take it and I will let me bring in Xojo here. Where are we? And I will open a new Xojo project. And let's bring it down to the right screen. Call it this, I'll create it. And what I'll do is I'll create it's opening up on the wrong screen. Alberto, can you let those folks in? So, all right, I'll add a new module to the project itself. I'll call it my lists. And then I'll literally go and import that code that's already been generated, which is, I believe I called it parks. There it is. Now, I will tell you, this is a bug that's in the latest beta release that we discovered about an hour ago. But you can see it's gone ahead and it's created the constants for every one of those parks. And it's maintained the Joshua tree this way without, with the underscore. So it'll maintain all of the integrity of the list itself, but it'll still make it code friendly. And it also creates two methods. Method number one is list them in order, which is basic. There's more elegant ways to do this listing of them in order, but we wanted to do it individually because we've had clients come to us and say, you know what, the St. Louis should alpha sort on SA, but the text is actually ST, but we want it sorted that way. Or some certain things need to be grouped that way. So you can manually do that. And we take a lot of JSON in terms of raters and things like that. So there's another one in there that says, look, is that a valid input? Does the text match the inputs and the outputs of them? So now I will tell you, you got to be careful importing and exporting this way. This will screw up pretty badly. So what we end up doing every single time, the workaround for the bug is to make it external. And just make it external from where it needs to be, and then bring it back in and make it internal. If you don't do that, Xojo gets lost with the .. / when you go to save it into any sort of version control. So it goes from there. And then if I went on the page, I can just drag let me bring out a pop-up menu. Where's my pop-up menu there? Bring out a pop-up menu, and in the opening thing, I went ahead and predid it. And there it is in there. If I change that to the right list, now if I run it, it'll take that whole list and just populate the pop-up menu. So instead of just the tedious building and adding on of building the things in a hurry, we find it is a pretty good tool. And we use this for everything. We use this for yes, no, because we want to enforce uppercase yes in all the data or not in the data. Or we use this for, some of these lists get ridiculously long and they don't lend themselves to pop-up menus, but they lend themselves to other stuff. And it's just a neat little tool that we built and put together. We also have one that actually makes all the interface items that talks to the database and all that sort of stuff, but we'll show that for some other day. So that's all we've got basically to show anybody here, but we'd like to know what is everybody, I'd love to hear from each one of you, what you do, what you use Xojo for, not so much what the business is, but in our case, we do a lot of PDF generation. Thank you, Christian. We do a whole lot of talking to the database, and we do a whole lot of API work all in Web 2. And, we're not concerned with much else. Just like to know other folks, because, you run yourself into a corner and there's a better way to do it. Just want to know who that they are. So I guess, do you mind going around the little screen here and tell me who you are and what you do and what you like? I'll start with the folks on the order on my screen. I don't know if they're the same, but Juan Carlos. If you can, I don't know. Here we go.
Hey, yes, thank you. No, my English is not very well, but I don't know. See, yeah, I have question, and this is that file what you is import is it from JSON file for Web2. Or
Can you say one more time?
yeah, my question is, I understand the file from you import in Web2. The file from you import, the file import. Is it a JSON import?
No, it's a text file that we
okay.
we just looked at how Xojo was setting it up and got some help, and it literally just creates a Xojo
Okay.
code file.
Thanks.
Good. Anybody else want to tell us who you are and what you use it for? I know of Anthony. I know Tim. I barely know the name Ricardo, but that's about it. And of course, Jeff, I've known for 25 years.
I don't know about that Jeff guy.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Tim Parnell. I'm a recovering Web 2.0 user. The biggest project that I work on with Web 2.0 uses it as an interface to a MySQL database. So the Xojo Web app is entirely a handle URL API. So I haven't had too many issues that deal with the user interface issues. Just building an API 2.0, just an API really. So I've had decent success on that app, and it's helped me build Lifeboat, and I've discovered the things that are needed to make sure the server still works, and altogether it's been a positive experience. My attempts to build a user interface Xojo Web app have not been so successful, and thus I am here to see what everybody else is up to.
Cool. Anybody else?
Okay, you know me. I'm Anthony. I'm the owner and lead developer, only developer of Graffiti Suite. In addition to everything that I do for Graffiti Suite, I do contract work for Web 2 and desktop and iOS. Probably the biggest personal project that I have outside of Graffiti Suite is I actually use Web 2 to build an admin panel for a client server application. So you're talking generally 20 to 50 TCP IP users communicating with a web app, and the web app, of course, has the admin panel, can manage the users and view what's going on and things like that. And what it is it's a player tracking application for a game. So people can see where each other are in the game, and they can, if they're in trouble, they hit, a key combination, and everybody's screen flashes red and they know somebody's in trouble, and all kinds of cool stuff like that. Which I'm also currently working on an iOS version of this app that is tough. iOS is a lot, it's a different beast in Xojo, and so many different things that are frustrating at times, but it's good stuff.
You guys in the bottom here? Louise, is it?
Hi, good evening from Switzerland.
No.
So yes, I jumped into Xojo development a few weeks ago. I'm building an admin panel too for clients for our product that we have, work in the tourism industry. So we have a lot of stuff with apartment rentals and stuff like that. And what I'm using Xojo for is to consolidate a huge number of little web apps that got very old, very painful to maintain, a lot of React stuff. And thanks to Xojo, we can really create new versions of these apps very fast.
Got it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
2 Xojo employees and 1 other folk left.
Hi, my name is Gilles Plans. I'm in the eastern part of Canada. I mostly work with Web 1. I'm getting my feet into Web 2. An issue we had with Web 1 was creating at runtime objects which were in containers and have them aligned, for example, to the left exactly. That was a bit of a problem because sometimes they were, instead of being aligned, they were a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. I don't know if it's going to change with Web 2.0, but this is something I'm going to try. I'm going to recreate the application just as a test to see if we get better alignment with Web 2.0.
Got it. All right. Anybody got anything else interesting? Jeff, you want to say hello?
Hello. Most of you have been to either a conference or met me online or whatever. I'm with Xojo. I'm the founder and CEO. And it's interesting. I like coming to things like this occasionally just to hear what people are saying. And, you know, it's always good to have your ear to the ground. And, you know, I monitor the forum, but the forum is a different media than
Yes.
than a video call. So, and I find video calls to be a lot closer to a face-to-face than anything else. So here I am.
Ricardo?
Hey everyone, I'm Ricardo. I'm the latest developer from Xojo. Well, before working at Xojo, I've been creating personal projects to try to push the limits of Xojo Web because I came from other technologies and I really liked the how easy it was to create those different things that you can create in Xojo. For example, one of the projects I've created a month ago, I think it was the multiplayer Wordle to test one of the issues that were reported, which was the container issues where you cannot click properly in the inside the containers and stuff like that. No problem. So in order to fix those kind of issues, what I do is not only go to the issue and fix it just like that, but I also create simple or more complex projects like this one, which I'm sharing the chat, which is the multiplayer Wordle using Web 2. It's really cool. It's really cool because it uses like, I don't know, 50 containers. It's multiplayer and you can push the limits a little bit more. The cool thing about creating this kind of projects is with Xojo is much easier than in other technologies to create this kind of stuff. Yeah, and everyone can join it. And we can do a multiplayer session.
It's very stressful to play the multiplayer version. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
As a fan of Wordle, it's a lot more stressful to play multiplayer.
I have no clue how Wordle works.
Oh my goodness, where have you been, Jay?
You know, I got too many other vices that eat up my time. So. Love it. All right.
You can download the project and yeah, this one, or for example, there is another one which is for trying to replicate the interface of Twitter. So trying to replicate all the interfaces will help us also to improve the framework and the IDE and all this. So yeah, that's me. I don't know.
Thank you, man. We are glad you are on board.
Thank you.
So, Alberto, you got anything else?
Well, we're gonna put the code on GitHub --ontech.
Yeah, and the old RGen code is up there too, so.
Yep.
So, and for what it's worth, we're gonna try and do this. I think Tim was gonna want to present some of the more guts of Lifeboat next month. We'll try to do this once a month and just see how it goes. And if anybody's doing anything interesting and wants to share, please just reach out to me or you got my, you can find, I'm easy to find, or reach out to Alberto. One of the two of us will get it. I'm literally just looking to figure out who's in Web 2 and who's really pushing it. And trying to save ourselves some aggravation. Would love someday to see how to start wrapping controls, because it's something we've never done around here. And it's just, it's outside the bounds of Xojo, but I think it's almost necessary for Web 2 in some cases. So if nobody's got anything else, I'll stop recording this thing at least.